Alright guys, what's going on? DJS here, and got a test today for this Rust-oleum Never Wet multi-surface treatment. I'm going to be trying to use this treatment right here that you see on 3 pairs of shoes and a t-shirt, and I guess Lola, since she doesn't want to move off my shirt. Hey buddy, she's just chilling. Sunbathing out here, and then Chloe just came out as well. This is not working. Anyway, so I want to do a test on these 3 shoes. I got a couple different materials as well, so it should be interesting. We have a patent leather Air Force 1 in black colorway. We have a Roshi Run in a black colorway, and it's kind of like obviously that knit material or mesh or whatever you want to call it. And then I have a Jordan 1 retro, or Jordan 4 retro, and it's in the white leather colorway. So I'm trying to patent leather, and then kind of a cloth to try this stuff out. And if you didn't know what this is it's a multi-surface treatment. As you can see, it says it works on metals, concretes, and woods. Liquid repelling treatment. And I actually got this for my boat. I needed to treat a piece of wood for the boat that holds a little piece of an engine on. It's just a little teeny fishing boat that I bought a while ago. And so we use it on that. But then you can see on the back here it says project details. It says best for wood, metal, concrete, aluminum, etc. And that says good for fabric, leather, canvas, and it says it dries to a milky haze. So kind of something to keep in mind right there. And then it shows you, like the one example they show you is a pair of work boots on the back that it works on. So I want to give it a try. I'm going to go ahead and spray a couple coats. I'm going to spray the first coat on, and then I'm going to spray the second coat on after the first one dries, and then we'll give it a test. So it's a pretty long video, but hopefully it will be to the point. Alright guys, so it says on this step 1 thing, it actually says on the back that you have to shake this thing for like a minute. And then it says also do a spray test before you actually start applying. I don't really care about spray testing because these 3 shoes are old and it doesn't really matter to me what happens to the end result. Even my Jordan 1s, I have actually doubled up on those pairs of all whites, so I'm alright either way. So I'm going to do a little spray test on the t-shirt. You just get a little base coat on the t-shirt right here. See what happens. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead. Definitely smells. You probably should wear a mask or cover your face with a mask or something because it's really, really quite potent. I'm going to go ahead and spray just the tips, just the tip of these guys right here. I went kind of heavy on the Jordan, and it's okay if I ruin these Roshis. They're only $30 as well. I think what it's going to do, the patent leather though, it's going to make it really dull, and we'll see what happens. So that's coat number 1, just so you guys can see up close the coating of the tips right here. This one you can't really see, and then this one's a little bit wet on the tip right here as well, and then the t-shirt as well. We'll be back for part 2 here in a second. Actually, it says you have to wait a half an hour between the first use and the second use. So I'm going to wait a half an hour, let these guys dry, and then apply the second coat. Alright guys, so we're back. Step 2, the top coats. And you can definitely tell it's not something you'd want to do on a pair of shoes that you love. You can tell that there's a little bit of film on the Air Force 1s as well as the Roshis look horrible. I mean, it looks like that you ran through a desert. Whoops, I just popped the top off. Alright, so I'm going to spray my t-shirt first. Now it says on the thing to stand 6 to 12 inches away. So that should probably do it. I got a little too close on these ones last time. It said 6 to 12 inches and I did not grant that far of a distance. But here we go. So just go ahead and pick this one up and just spray the tip of this on. Now supposedly there's some adhesive chemical reaction. Oh, you can see right here. Well, I'll show you in a second. You can definitely tell it makes it milky as soon as you spray this one on. So there's some sort of chemical reaction that happens when you spray this stuff on, and I don't know necessarily what. Yeah, these are definitely dingy looking now. But that's what the fun part of doing a test like this is. Now, the white leather, actually, I might have the better results because it is white. So I'll just go ahead and spray it around like this. And that's pretty much it. So I'm not going to do the rest of the shoe. I probably could if it turns out well, but I guess we'll see. And I'll let you guys see up close real quick here in a second. Alright, so here's the up close of the black patent leather. I don't know if it picks up on the camera very well, but it's definitely milky looking on definitely if you look at it, it's not like black. I should have the other one. You can see kind of the difference from that area and that area right there. It's definitely a milky coating. Definitely not recommended for black patent leather. Moving on, you can see the Roshis are a bit disheveled as well. I mean, in comparison to the back half, the first half, it is definitely a different kind of look. So probably should finish off the whole thing so it's at least even. But I mean, it doesn't look totally ruined, but these are pretty worn anyway. You can see how dirty they are in the middle, because I did actually wear them in like the dirt, and when I went to the fair and stuff, they're really dirty. Now, the white one is the best bet so far. You can see that it's not that big of a difference because it's just white. So a little bit of a white milky feel to white Jordan. Not that big of a deal. So we'll see. I have to wait another half an hour before it can really settle down, and then it says, actually it says that you should wait for 30 minutes to dry for light use and 12 hours for full use. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and we'll pick it up, and I'll show you guys me actually doing a spray test. Alright guys, we're back, and here's the first test. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it definitely ruins the black patent leather. Bad idea on my part, but I wanted to give it a try and see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and do a splash test with some water here. See what happens. You can see it just kind of rolls right off. It does waterproof the crap out of this thing. So that does work, it looks like. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's just really falling off. It is friggin' patent leather, so I wouldn't expect it to do anything else. I'm going to go ahead and mess around with some mustard on this thing and see if it does it like on the video. See, it shows it on the video. You see, it shows it just falling off. But look what it does. It says nope. Yeah, it totally stuck on. So, using mustard is a horrible idea. That's just whack. I'm going to have to get more water for the other ones. Look at this. Alright, moving on to the Roshis. See what happens here when we drop some water on this bad boy. That's pretty cool, actually. I don't know if you can see that. The water just actually... I would think it would be a little bit... Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. The water's on the inside of the shoe, so it doesn't just repel like right here. It looks like it's still bouncing in the shoe. Yeah, look at that. It's still bouncing in the shoe, but it does look like it repels off of the top part. The problem is that it's because of the materials. Obviously, there's a lot of room for loopholes and water to get in, so it will repel off this and go right to the other areas, as it just did. And now my shoe is actually soaked, so except for this area that I used to waterproof. So maybe if I waterproof the entire thing, it might work. I might try to re-up and do the entire shoe to see if that actually makes a difference. But I doubt it, because with the Roshi runs, you can see right here, there's actually a gap between it. Alright, moving on, we have the Jordan test. And this is my Jordan all whites. I'm going to go ahead and pour it on here. And you can see the water just definitely trickles off. So it does waterproof it. Is it worth doing? That's another question, I guess. I guess I'm pouring water on my other shoes over here. I don't know if it's worth doing it or not. Maybe for some of the shoes. This one seems to bounce right off just fine, but it is a retro. Let me check the inside of here. Yeah, it's actually 100% dry in this one, so you can see the water just bounces off and it curls up, and it definitely doesn't like stick water. It just bounces right off of it. So leather, definitely a plus. Mesh is a no-no, and patent leather is just a stupid idea. but I wanted to test them all. Now I'm going to try the t-shirt. Alright, so the last test, I'm going to go ahead and try to throw some water on this t-shirt. See if it works. And that's a big no. I'm assuming that you'd have to do a couple, I'm going to bring it closer actually so you can see it. Alright, so what I was saying is I'm assuming you have to do a couple layers possibly, because some areas it was kind of repellent, other areas it wasn't so much. So like right here it was kind of, but here definitely not. As you can see, it completely soaked through the t-shirt. Let me try again, actually put a little bit more water in this area. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put water on this spot right here. Yeah, I mean it's just totally not waterproof from the material. Maybe in small little splashes it might help you, but I mean I live in Oregon. If I was out to stay out in the rain, it might help a little bit, but in the long run, definitely not worth throwing down water on top of that. So I guess in closing, white leather looked pretty good. It didn't really ruin the shoe, and it actually did work on the white leather. Black patent leather, don't do it. You can see there's still parts of the mustard stuck inside the shoe, and that finish is just horrible. It just totally ruined the sneaker. And then the last one, Team Roshi here, Roshi runs. Not a good idea. You can tell the difference in color. Again, it totally ruined the color of the black of the shoe, and it repelled the water to some extent, but it's not really worth doing if you're trying to just have it repel the water and have it go back inside the shoe. So that's pretty much all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace. Alright, so I want to do one final test here to show you guys. I've waited over 24 hours for this stuff to absorb. You can see the film on this thing is pretty bad still. What I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention previously is that if you do put this on your leather, it definitely leaves like a coating of crap on your shoes. So definitely not the most desired thing, especially if you're trying to resell your shoes ever. It's a bad idea. I mean, the next people will be like, what the hell is on this? Because it's all like chalky feeling at the end. And I was going to do a follow-up on the Roshi runs, but these things are soaked. And as you can see, it doesn't work at all on these things. Like, literally, it just looks like nothing's on here. Now, when I did the follow-up, to be fair, it rained. Like, after I applied the second coat, it like rained a little bit, and I didn't think it actually hit the shoe, but it must have, because it didn't work at all. And I tried even on areas that weren't very wet, like the back area right here, and you can see it literally absorbs it like a cloth. So does it work on Roshi runs? Remains to be seen, but as of right now I'd say no. Now to do the final little test on both of these shoes right here. Oh crap, dropping the water. Alright, let's see here on the tips here. It does repel on the leather, so leather's definitely a good look. If you have work boots or something, it'd probably be better putting them on like even on the part right here with the mesh. When I'm putting it on the mesh, you can see it just kind of running off. So if you don't mind the kind of the weird hazy, milky texture of the stuff, then it works fine. Here's on the leather, the patent leather. Just kind of trickles off as well. So it does work on this also. It might work on the Roshis again if I gave it a fair shake. I definitely didn't apply it correctly, but that's why I did it on a couple different things. So that definitely works, as you can see. And then I'll try one more test on the t-shirt, even though it didn't work the first couple times. And there you can see it doesn't work at all on the t-shirt. It's just soaked. So that's pretty much the end of the testing. I just wanted to let you guys know 24 hours later what happened. And you can see it does repel. I wouldn't try mustard though. Mustard's a stupid idea. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.